Me?
to the main screen. Yep.
Holy crap, are we on?
Yes, we are.
Hello, everybody. I think can everybody can hear me? I don't see it's caught up on the iPad yet, but
Yeah, we're
hello.
gonna we're gonna start with some sound checks here.
Oh, all
Can
right.
everyone hear? If you can hear my voice currently,
Yeah.
go ahead and type one in chat.
Awesome, awesome. Let me turn my volume down on my iPad so I can see some of the streaming thing. I think we're better with the volume this week, aren't we? Are we good? We're good. I see a lot of
Sounds
ones.
good on my end.
I think so too. I'm excited. And I have, everybody can see a piece of tape. Piece of tape, which means we have a marker this time that I will try to follow as much as possible. Welcome everybody to 1.5. Adjusting the stream is what the title, I believe, of the show is. And we were working out a little bit of the bugs this time because there were some significant bugs last time for the show. So I'm supposed to treat this mic and let it follow me around whenever I'm talking. That's going to be something on my mind that Justin's been preaching to me. And so I think did a little adjustment to the palette cam to put the camera a little bit closer to it and adjusted kind of the angle. It's kind of got this weird funky angle to it, but it's really where you can see my finger kind of come in. And so it's really, those are all the colors that I've thrown out on the palette. And we'll go over those all as well. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I think we're looking at about 61 people right now. That's fun. We're going to be doing a little painting today. Been thinking about some of the show ideas. Last time I asked about show names and I was going tentatively with Crow's Nest, and I'm kind of digging the Crow's Nest name, at least for now. I think we're going to stick with it and roll with it. I haven't even told Justin that yet. So I'm liking it unless something really cool
Spoiler
comes
alert.
up. Spoiler alert. Michelle, my wife, came up with Taco Tuesdays, but I don't think that really works. I mean,
You're
I
just gonna
love
call it Taco Tuesdays.
that would be kind of funny. I mean, we may have a Taco Tuesday episode here and there.
Oh, we absolutely should.
Yeah, and so that'll just be like whatever. But and after the show, and even watched a little bit of Anne's show today. And I've been thinking about before that. I was thinking about basing too, and doing some basing kind of sessions. It can be, and I will ask for maybe some feedback on this as well. What about? Do you want me to go over the basics of it, some of the materials I use, or you just want to see me build one and then go over things as well? And probably the second one is what we're thinking about. I need to come up with a miniature to build a base for. And so I'm just trying to figure that out right now. If anybody watched Reaper Live last night, you found out maybe a couple hours before me that I was getting assigned to paint a couple of figures, in particular the May figure, the Asian-inspired,
Barbarian.
Mongolian-inspired barbarian chick that Jackson sculpted, that Izzy drew up. So that was supposed to be in UPS. That was supposed to be overnight. That was supposed to arrive today, since it was overnight from yesterday. Has it showed up yet? No. Has UPS suck? If anybody works for UPS, I'm really sorry, but UPS around here is super inconsistent. All it says is delivery unknown. So we don't know what's going on. The last tracking was it was in Fort Worth somewhere. So I was really hoping that we could get it cleaned up and at least show it off on the show more today.
Wait, it legitimately says delivery unknown.
Yeah. I can pull up my little email thing right now if this is just horrible TV to do or not.
No,
It
that's what
says,
this show is about. Just hanging out and painting.
all right, hanging out and painting. It says delay. It says delay. It's all it does, say delay. Just says delay. And there was an issue and then if I go to shipping progress, it says in transit. And if I go for detailed view, it says we've incorrectly sorted this package, which may cause delay. And this update was at 2:30 a.m. in Fort Worth. There.
Ah,
You see it right there. So who knows? There's a couple of the things in there as well. If you guys remember from Bones 4, the Baba Yaga hut, I painted that up, and Ron was sending me Baba Yaga to paint up as well. For there's going to be a box or something. So that was supposed to be in there. The June's figure, which I haven't even seen a turnaround for or anything yet. So I don't even know what it looks like at this point. That's supposed to be in there, and I think that was it. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I was kind of hoping to show that off today. I'm going to work on, while we were trying to fix in just the stream, a little bit of Brother Hammond. I showed him off on Tuesday. And is that camera look good? Is that like too close? Is there getting a good focus in? Can you see, Justin? I wonder if I clicked on this. I made it a little bit bigger. There. Now, is that focusing? Excuse me. Is that too good or is that good? Can you hear me? Justin?
Sorry, Michaela was asking me a question. Sorry, say that again. And she just yelled the F word. Sorry.
No. Hey, Justin, does that look good? Is that in focus? Can you see that? Because it looks in focus
that actually
to me.
looks pretty. Did you punch the camera in today?
I did. I punched in. I might have it punched in too much.
But it looks much better this time than it did last time.
Okay, I might have it punched in because I work on it. I'm going to be holding it there. And again, bear with us, guys. This isn't necessarily my strength is technology. So,
Do you have it on autofocus? Is my next question.
I do. That piece of crap.
Go ahead and turn that off.
Yeah, I know, right?
It will focus on until it drives you insane.
Yeah, that's better. That's what it was doing. Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna. Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, on the shipment thing, that was kind of a deal. I wanted to, and I'm kind of thinking about maybe next week is definitely going to be on Tuesday. I'm going to be working on the Barbarian Chick, so I'll hopefully be able to show that off a little bit too as we're going along and what my thought process is. It's kind of hard sometimes to, at least for my new beginnings, to paint competition level, I don't know, showroom quality level or whatever stuff on a stream. It's just hard because you always have to feel like you need to talk and everything, and sometimes I just get in this little zen mode, but we'll see what we can do, and I at least want to show it off a little bit so you guys can get more excited about it, because I'm super bummed at it because I wanted to see it. I was super excited about, like, holy crap, I want to get this piece. Jackson stuff has become so it's not like it has become. It's just, it's become so clean and nice and fun.
Those pauldrons on that model last night, my eyes were immediately drawn to that. They look epic.
Yeah, they look really cool. I love the little Izzy, when those two can combine and Izzy can draw up stuff and when Izzy's always into it, and Izzy's always got it dialed in. But there are some figures that really go blam. Yeah, that one she fully thought out and designed and drew up and everything, and fully executed a drawing, a sketch. Some of them are just more thumbnail kind of stuff that she does for some of the other monsters and whatnot. But you see when she really goes crazy on something, she's super into it. So, excuse me. So let's do some actual painting so nobody gets bored.
Yeah, we would hate for people to get bored.
91 people. I don't know why. I probably get over looking at the numbers, but I always thought that was interesting to see. So everybody can see the palette and everything. So we are going to do some Brother Hammond, the cleric from Dungeon Dwellers. He is super on the road, walking around, super worn out. He hasn't got any new clothes in quite a while, and he's taken a vow of chastity, and so he's cruising around. He's got his nice, huge gold cross, bronze cross, but don't think about that. Ignore that. And then so we're just going to work on a little bit more of the weathering, and we'll work on the back of the hood a little bit more. So you'll see on the palette there are tons of different browns, right? So everybody likes to show off all the colors and everything. I'll do the same. There is on the palette. There's Ruddy Brown, Uniform Brown, Shield Brown, Driftwood Brown, um, Brown Liner. One of the new colors is the Minotaur Hide. That was the here. I'm actually in the camera now, where I wasn't. Now there we go. And one of the other new colors is Minotaur Hide. That was in the new Bones thing. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. And then brown liner's on there. I think I mentioned that. There's some red liner on there. I don't know what the other one is. I forgot. There's some greens I have on there as well. We'll play with those as well. And then on my palette, I will always have some black and always have some blue liner too. Those are always going to be on my palette. And for a highlight range of any of these colors, of these browns, I'll be throwing in. Here's some, which one was this? Was this linen white?
Could you read those numbers off for me individually, by the way, and show them off individually?
Sure.
Just for the people that are going to get a play.
Minotaur Hide, 94.91. Ruddy Leather, 91.09. Uniform Brown, 91.27. Does it help when I click it down really hard like that?
No, but if you're going to paint the towel to kind of show us,
yeah,
Shield, get it on screen.
Shield Brown. And we're going to do a two for this time. We're going to do, oh, I don't know if Turkey Brown is actually in production or not. I think it was like a holiday thing. I don't know. I think it was a holiday thing, but and Turkey Brown is easily substituted by taking a how did I make it when I ran out of it? I had a rich leather and I added a tiny bit of linen white to it and popped it up a little bit, and then I had a little brown liner to knock it down to take it in a range that way, and I got really close for what I needed to do. So always pretty much on my palette most of the time, and I haven't put it highlight there yet, is I like Dusky Skin, the Dusky Skin Triad. So that's these three paints. These are almost, you know how a lot of you guys have like the go-to colors that are pretty much always in front of you. I think Dusky Skin is so versatile. I use it for dark elf skin or kind of a ashen skin, but also a lot for leathers, worn leathers, belts, straps. When something is already brown and you're painting like the clothing, like on Brother Hammond, he's brown. Well, I want something to stand out a little bit on the strap, so I'll go to Dusky Skin Triad is kind of my first go-to of like, oh yeah, I can just try that in. Now, if I've already used that somewhere, I will go to desaturated greens, and we'll spend a little bit of time here about some of my favorite just kind of go-to triads. I'm not selling anything here. This is just kind of what I go to, and if you talk to me next month, I'll probably say these are my new go-to things, just because I get bored with some and then I'll go try something else. But these three of what I've been using a ton on, wow, so many things. I've used them on orc skin, on cloaks, on my little Abram character guy that he's going to be in the D&D campaign that I saw you guys talk about on Reaperland again. Dude, I'm up for it. You got to make it happen, Justin. It's up to you.
What's that?
The Dungeon Dragons thing, the errant adventures.
Pretty sure it's happening next Friday, unless something else happened in that email stream that I don't know about.
Have you talked to Ron?
No. Did he say something?
Well, you need to talk to Ron. You're the producer, right?
Oh.
See, you're already not paying attention to me, aren't you?
So,
you're off doing something else.
The plan is to interchange someone for the fifth person basically every session.
What's Bug Lips doing right now?
That's why it's less, for me, it's less relevant whether or not Ron can do it one week or the other, because we have plenty of other people who will shoe in.
Uh-huh.
So what we basically kind of committed to was a Reaper person or personality will be in that fifth slot week to week.
And you're the producer, right? I mean, am I giving you too much credit?
Oh, yeah, way too much. Man, I just hit the button and stuff. I don't even know why they pay me.
Yeah, but you're the head cat wrangler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Well, I would own it. Yeah, you're owning it. You're owning that you're the het cat wrangler. So, anyways, yes. Um,
Oh, also, I had a question, real quick.
yeah.
Isn't it true that you use blue liner on literally everything you paint?
Everything. And here's my blue
Literally
liner.
everything.
Literally everything I paint, even if you don't think, like, all right, so you would look at, remember we were painting him on Tuesday, and I'll get back to him and we'll finish him up. But where he has got blue liner in him, put the glasses on, he will have blue liner, and he already does in the crevices here, in these little crevices, underneath the scales. And what it's doing, and I'm sure
Real
we'll,
quick, actually.
yeah,
Focus is on the table. I think you need to move the slider a little bit if you're going to be up off
move,
the table with the mini.
uh,
We're like slightly back focused.
yeah. Why won't my focus change?
You got to use the little slider. There you go. It's
Uh,
touchy. Use the You're using the brush, right?
yeah, I am. Zoom. Ah,
That's probably why you were messing with the
that's what
table.
my zoom was too far in. Yeah. Is that better?
It still looks a little out of focus to me here,
Okay,
but
now
let me see. Does it look sharp to you guys? Because it could just be my feed.
Ah,
That's much worse.
that's perfect. Right there is absolutely freaking
Oh yeah,
perfect.
you know what? I can paint with that level of sharpness.
Look at that.
Actually, that actually looks kind of right to me there. I
Yeah.
think.
Anyways, so the blue liner is starting to be all underneath these little scales right here, right? And that'll be in the deepest part. And what it is, it's color theory stuff. Um, Cold colors recede, warm colors advance. So blacks are awesome, and I use blacks all the time, and I'll mix black in with blue liner to make it even darker. But the dark blue liner cold color just for the eye visually just draws it in even more, just sucks it in. And then if you can put some kind of lighter highlight kind of color next to it, then that's going to make the shadow fold in even more. You can see with. Like for instance with Brother Hammond right here. See, that's too far out. You can't see
Yeah, you
anything
can. Yeah,
good.
zoom. You can zoom in a little bit more there. It's
Okay.
just I think we had to find the depth of like, as you know, the more you're zoomed in, the
Yeah.
narrower the depth of field on that camera.
Yeah.
So
So that's is that in focus? It sucks.
come up some. It's in
Oh.
focus right there.
Well, I don't want it to be right there.
Well, then I would adjust the focus. Hey, remember you took a school thing on the old photography back when you had to burn the powder to get the flash.
Yeah. F you.
You had to go underneath the hood.
I actually I had a class where we took 4x5 cameras out and we shot with them back
Four
in the
by
day.
five. That's really cool, actually. That
Yeah.
stuff does interest me.
Yeah, no, it teaches you a lot about exposing and composing your shot and composition and stuff. And speaking of that, if you guys are interested, we can do a composition session where I'm not necessarily painting, but I can talk about basing composition and telling a story and dioramas and stuff like that. If that's something that's interesting, it wouldn't be actually painting. I'd probably go through some of my pieces since I have them. I don't want to bash anybody else's, so I'll just bash mine and say, okay, I did this a long time ago, and this is why this sucks, and maybe I did this one later, and this is why I like this one a little bit better. If that sounds cool, we'll do that. I want to, and if you don't mind making a mental note and reminding me, Justin, too. I'm going to write all this shit down, but we'll go
All
from
right,
there.
good call.
It's still a little fuzzy. I'm not happy. We were better on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the megapixels on that camera are not great. So the more you
Yeah.
zoom in, it's better to zoom with the neck of itself and not the digital zoom.
All right.
Like you're gonna get a sharper picture if you zoom all the way out and move it really close.
Ah, okay. We can do that.
Remember what they tell you in photography school? You zoom with your feet, not with a lens.
You're so smart. You're so smart.
No, 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 no. Remember, I'm useless. I get paid to just sit around.
Well, that's true.
Like we have to choose one direction. Come on.
Well,
We can't have
I'm
both.
used to using Nikon, so this is I don't even know what this is. Probably got Canon components in
Oh, let's not start this war.
it. It's
You're just mad
just
because your Nikon lens costs twice as much for the same lack of sharpness.
that yours is.
Yeah. Also, this may seem weird to you, but like when I use a Canon, I get
Uh-huh.
actual color from what I'm shooting, not
Uh,
some weird amalgamation that the people
ah.
at Nikon don't know.
Oh well, let's do that.
Hey, don't, Frank, don't do this. Actually, Frank and I had a
Focus.
big conversation at ReaperCon last year about Nikon and Canon, and
And is he a
he
Nikon guy?
he is a Nikon guy. Yes. To
See,
be
I.
fair, most photographers are, and I will
Yeah.
agree that they do seem to yield sharper pictures.
Uh huh.
However, the color is still kind of off. You
Hmm.
cannot beat Canon's color science, man. They do insane stuff.
Now,
And their glass is really good. Just
is
saying.
that was that in, is this in focus at all?
Yeah, it looks okay. So I have two feeds here. I have the real time feed from
Yeah.
Discord,
Uh
and
huh.
then the actual output on Twitch looks pretty sharp.
Okay.
Now I don't know what the end user is seeing though.
Yeah. You guys, focus or not focus?
Also, Bandar is actually. I would like to lend to what Bandar is saying. The newest Sony mirrorless
Hmm.
is actually probably the best camera on the market. It actually caused Canon and Nikon to put out a mirrorless to compete with it.
Hmm. See, Rainbow Sculpture says not quite in focus. That's boom. That's it right there. That's in focus.
Right there.
Yeah. Right. I got it. I have it up and see when it catches up. Yeah. Way better.
Oh, there we. Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because it improved drastically on Discord, but then it looks really sharp on Twitch. So
Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna have to hold it up here for now. The blue liner question. We're all over the place.
that's what these streams are for. We haven't really kicked. This is all just the pregame, man.
This is pregame. Yeah, this is pregame stuff. So, what we have his little cross here, and I've done non-metal metal, and I use for bronze. I'm gonna actually use a lot of greens for bronze, and so I just want to pop it up a little bit more. I just kind of have it blocked in really with a couple of highlights and whatnot. If anything, and if you guys haven't noticed or taken a class with me or whatever, some people will work in one little area and work on that area until that's done and then work on the other little area. I can't do that. I'm all over the freaking place and constantly going back and forth. And I don't think any area is completely done until the miniature is done itself. So that's where we are. So, but with the blue liner, here's my blue liner on my palette. I have my tiny little brush, my Winsor Newton Series 7 miniature 0, but all the freaking hairs are gone. Oh, they're all fucking gone. Freaking gone, I should say.
Oh no, it's fine.
Sorry for the F-bomb.
I put a mature audience warning on this one.
Are you going to do that every time? Are we
I
going to...
mean, if this is gonna feel more like a relaxed,
Yeah.
not adult stream. I don't want to say that,
No.
but if it's
Bow,
gonna be a
bow, chicka,
later
bow, wow.
bracketed show,
Yeah.
no, it's not like that. Not that kind of adult. But I don't want to limit that on the shows. To be
Yeah.
fair, I don't really limit it on any show except for Reaper Live and Reaper Land, where
Yeah.
it's expected to have,
Kids.
But
Yeah.
all the other shows, if you want to use
No,
the F
I
word, technically
I
you
don't, and my intention is not to, because I do want whoever wants to learn, regardless of their age or ideology or whatever. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. So
That's fair. We
yeah.
do try to be inclusive as we possibly
Yeah.
can.
Oh, the other cool color that I put on the palette, and I did on Tuesday, two colors. Talked a little bit about the copper verdigris, and bump, 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 slow turnaround is the yellow mold 9487. I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday. This yellow mold color is awesome. If you don't have it, you can make it with Bones White, and I would say the non-metal metal, the NMM gold color. I bet you could make it. We could mess around with that and making colors if you don't want to own every paint in the world. But this is worth the investment right now, right here, and I'll show you why. It's right here on my palette, and where I talked about I always have blue liner on my palette. I always have white, and I will always have black. My two favorite whites and blacks right now are the Bones Dragon White, Dragon Black. Here's Dragon White, 94.39, and Dragon Black is the black one. I can't find the bottle. If you can see my desk right now, it's a freaking disaster of paint everywhere. So let's go back to blue liner a little bit. And so a trick, and I've done this on a couple of the toolbox videos, and I think a quick level up technique, something to take you from that next level. You're getting bronzes and you want to pump up to silver, or even silver and you want to start pumping up to bronze, is let's create definition, and let's create contrast. I need to have them up here. I keep forgetting.
I was about to say bring it up a little bit.
Yeah, I read your mind. You were telepathically communicating that before you said
See,
something.
that's how I know you're really starting to get it.
I'm dialed in.
Say that stuff. Yeah, you're getting it.
Freaking zoning. But yeah, I just got my yellow mode, as Heather Day said that. I've got a bunch of miniatures I need to paint, and I always say
Oxfeathers wants to know how you convince yourself to get going.
That's a really good question. So it depends. It's like, what's my motivation? Is there a competition coming up? Then that'll help me get going. But sometimes for me, even like if there's a competition coming up, then I feel like, oh my God, that's a little daunting. I will have a bunch of stuff prepped and primed sitting on my desk, and you can see right now I have these guys up. I have the orc guy I showed off the other day. So I'll have a bunch of options in front of me, so I don't have to go, what am I going to paint now? Okay, and I go through all my blisters and everything and say, all right, which one am I want to spend the time putting together, and then priming, and cleaning, then priming. Sometimes it happens in reverse. But having a bunch of options and just starting. And if you don't feel it, push it a little bit. See if you can get yourself into the groove, and then put it down. If you're not grooving on it, then put it down. Do something else. Pick up something else. Keep picking up something else. Or then, what I've done too with Michelle, and I've had a trouble of just picking some non-commission piece, something I just want to do for myself, and saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to start. And I'll have her come and just pick one. I'll say, pick something you want, or you'd want me to paint. And so I'll do it that way. So have somebody pick one for you. Post it up on Facebook to say, hey, which of these three figures do you want me to paint, or whatever. I don't know. Does that help? I hope it does. Also have Tester's liquid cement for plastic models. It says apply sparingly. I did the models fell apart, and applied thicker and the models fell apart. Is there a better cement? I don't put models together. I do miniatures, and I use super glue. I use this stuff. Loctite.
I was literally about, look at that. So I sent the link in chat, and I said we use, and everyone at Reaper, everyone uses what I linked, but you have the correct one, the Loctite super glue with the blue handles.
You haven't been around as long, but you know why they all use this glue?
Because it's gel and because it squeezes on the side?
Well, it's because I told them to. How about that?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know if that's actually true or not. I have no idea if that's true.
Your minis, right? Like, oh, that's for the peasants to put together their minis.
No, I do. I assemble all my miniatures. Oh, does anybody want to see close-ups of Yog Shoggoth? Look at that. That's a really super-duper close-up. But
holy crap, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is Kevin Williams, Yog Shoggoth, and you can see some really good detail in the tentacles and everything, and in the mouth. So if you guys ever feel like, oh my God, I got this piece, I'm really intimidated by it. I don't know when, I feel like, I don't know. That's how I am right now with this. I'm just waiting for I have some reference photos that Ron and I have already talked about and how to get started on it. But I have been a little, and there's some cool little things that come out here. I haven't glued them on because if I glue them on, I'll break them. There's these little tentacles. There's 4 of them that come out, and I'll probably get started on them, prime these separately, and then because otherwise, if I move them around and everything, and I hit them against the camera, they're going to break off. So, but I use super glue if you're putting together plastic stuff. Hold on, I'll be right back. When I do styrene kits, or I'm building my own little styrene kind of scenes, I use this plastic weld to put that evergreen styrene stuff, and you cut it up and you can make bases. Anyway, it's the stuff that Anne was using for her floor stuff in her base thing earlier today. If you're putting multiple pieces together, this plastic weld is freaking awesome. It stinks, but it says caution, harmful vapor. I'd wear a mask. Everybody's gonna hopefully have masks in their just everywhere drawer going forward, but you should wear one with one of these with this stuff. But it's super strong, and it's really the only way to do that. To use.
So when you use that stuff, you just put a mask on.
Yeah. And I have the Super Space Cadet respirator mask thing for airbrushing. I can't. Oh, there it is. Are you hearing me good when I'm moving around and everything, or is it suck?
It sounds like you're across the room, but I can still hear you. I don't know how the audience is hearing you.
So I'll wear this for airbrushing, or when I'm sanding the wood floors or something like that. I'll wear this. And I would probably wear this when using that stuff just because I have it. But before I had it, I would just use a regular mask or something. So harmful vapors are what made me the man I am today. Bug Lips, meeting you and talking to you, I totally agree with you. All right, so we want to paint a little bit more. I'm done rambling. I think I feel more comfortable today. I think I'm enjoying today a little bit more. So, all right. You see on the back cloak, I've started on it, but what you can see, there's starting to be a little bit of it's reading that there's texture, and this sculpt is completely smooth. The cloth is completely smooth. There's a couple of little indentions right here, but the rest of it's super smooth. So we're just trying to sell that there's some weathering, but it's a little on the flat side right now. And this part of the cloak is hanging over here, but it's really still light in there. So I needed to knock that back. And what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of, that's red liner, and there's brown liner right there. So, and then I'll just glaze in a little bit of the darker color. And I'm using a super tiny brush because it's what I had in front of me. I don't need to be so tiny brush right now. That's my water making that noise. All right. And sometimes I'll put a little paint on, and it's so dry in Colorado, it's a little easy to do. You can do it in more humid climates too. It'll last a little bit. I'll put a little on in the darkest area where I need it, come back and clean my brush, and now it becomes almost like a spit blending kind of thing without the spit. I'm getting the water from my towel, my paper towel right here, which is damp. I use this pipette, if you haven't noticed. These are really cool. I didn't really know about them until recently. I guess I remembered them from school a long time ago, but I just get a little water from my pipette. See, there's water in there. And then I'll put it on my paper towel. And the goal of all this is to keep me from painting on my hand. I don't want to be painting on my hand anymore. Even though Reaper stuff is non-toxic, rather not be adding any more to the normal. So there is a fold. The cloak is right here. Let me come up a little bit better. The cloak is up here. And there is then his arm, the cloth for his arm is here. So there's a very thin line that needs to be, I think at least, picked out a little bit. And so I'll come with my blue liner. And this is when the name blue liner, it all comes back to, what is that? It's a liner. And so that's the number one job that's for, and it could be used for a number of other things. But am I good? I think so.
A little off screen, at least for what it updated to, but I think you're fine.
Yeah. I'm. So, are you watching the live? What's on Twitch? Or are you watching what I'm sending you? Does that make sense?
I'm watching what you're sending me because that's the closest thing to real time.
Okay.
It's still a little delayed. If I watch Twitch, I can't make decisions based on that. That's like a solid 10-second delay.
Yeah. Why is that just what it is?
That is what it is. I can't. It won't let me affect that through the Twitch dashboard for some reason. I have it set as low as it can go.
Oh, okay.
In fact, there's an option to make the delay more.
Really?
But it also could be there because we're using a middleman to rebroadcast this because it's easier to do that.
What's the middleman? Is that secret?
The middleman in this case is Restream.
That's not. What's OBS then?
OBS is the software that's capturing what you're doing. You're sending it to my middleman in this case, which is Restream, and then I have control whether or not to broadcast it. I did that to give myself an intermediary like switch or control, so that for whatever reason, if you're on air and you decide you're just going to start showing all the body parts you can, I can pull the plug on it.
That would be for Frank during the D&D show if I get bored, Frank. So
there we go. See, Frank, you got to keep him entertained or he'll just start showing stuff.
If you kill me off, it's all coming out.
I don't even know if Frank is still here.
Okay. Well, he should be. He's missing out if he's not. So.
He started painting heavily, so people are paying attention to that.
Oh. Okay.
Talking.
Good. All right. So I knocked this back a little bit more and got that fold a little darker, and then I'll work on these folds a little bit more. What this guy, he doesn't have any base right now, and if you remember him from Tuesday, I had a little base I made really quickly, and I didn't like it, and it was just a stone floor. He's a dungeon dweller, and Ron likes them on their little round, simple bases. He always gives me crap when I make some crazy base on things. But I may just go ahead and say screw it and do some crazy base for him. He's a traveling monk, so I was thinking of maybe some kind of stony road path with maybe a little sign. Any ideas? And any ideas that you guys have, any suggestions or something for a simple base, not very big, maybe a couple inches by couple inches at the most. We'll have a little terrain thing too. Maybe we can make a base for him. What do you think about that, Justin?
I mean, I think it sounds fine, but I think that based on what Ann was telling me about when you were basing before, it's been kind of not overhyped, but basically you've got this like low-key reputation of being a base god.
Yeah, that's
so as long as you can deliver on that, like that's all that matters. Like let's get you delivering. You know?
Yeah. No pressure there, right? No, we'll do a.
Apparently, it's either shaded metallics or basing. So
I know, and it's funny. This year, this upcoming ReaperCon was going to be. Last year was going to be my last shaded metallics class I ever taught, or at least for a while, just because I've been teaching it for so long, and I kind of wanted to be focused in. I've been doing more of the textures and stippling and color theory kind of stuff, but I have not done one of my basing like big. It was I forget what the name of the class was. It was advanced basing, but it was compositional basing of storytelling. I haven't done one of those, and I was going to do it this year. So assuming we're still going to have a ReaperCon, I will have at least one class slot for that. Okay, cuts, abrasions, all that kind of stuff. There's where do I put the highlight, underneath or above? If it is a metal surface and it's indented in, the light, so if it's a metal surface and it's indented in like that, the light's going to come and hit there, so you're going to highlight on the bottom. If it's just cloth and texture and you're just having lines and stuff, and that is kind of maybe a tear, it's not really directly, whether it's on the top or the bottom, in my opinion, it's no big deal. I would keep the highlight line as thin as you can. If you're going to err on one side being bigger than the other, it's the black part should probably be a little bit bigger than the highlight. The thing with highlights is less is more. Focused is better. Focus will achieve higher results than big, huge, just big, long. I'm gonna line all the way around this thing, and say this was, Space Marine armor or something like that, and they're gonna line all the way around. Pop your highlights in specific spots, and they're gonna pay off more. So saying that, I'll show you, kind of right there. It's good. So the tendency in that is to go, I got this whole line of the cloak right here, right? So I need to have a highlight line on that whole thing. My thought is and you see I'm mixing in on my palette. I'm bringing in a little bit of that copper verdigris, a little bit of that blue color, and mixed in with that yellow. It just adds a little more visual kind of pop, in my opinion. It's not just flat white. And there's always this kind of run or whatever with all the various whites out there, and then some people will go by the titanium white. Reaper doesn't make it. It's super expensive, and I don't know if it's non-toxic or not. I don't think it is. And it's great to use. I've used it, but you can, if you're using your proper what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not overdoing it with your whites and you're saving your whites for the very end, and you're focusing and using those strategically, you don't need it. It's cool to use and have, but this is just regular white, and it tends to be popping up really well. So I'm gonna look. I haven't looked at anything. Base God Superstar, thank you very much.
We need to get that iPad for you propped up right in front of your face, but straight across.
Yeah, I had that. Let's try that. Because I'm looking
just so that you're not having to lean over and
looking away is bad TV, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you do that enough times, it's gonna be bad for your back.
Well, I typically do this when I paint. I lower my chair
really?
down so I don't hunch, but I'm up like this. But then I look like I'm a little 2-year-old at the table. I want some more.
Perfect.
I want some more peas, please.
Say chicken nuggies for me.
I want some chicken nuggies.
Someone clip that right now. Someone clip it.
You set me up, you little
It's
shit.
gonna be the sub sound and alert whenever someone subs the button.
I want some chicken nuggies. I think Taco Tuesday is okay. If you don't teach shaded metallics, you could immortalize it with a few videos. I could, and I'd be happy to. I've just figured everybody at this point is sick of the shaded metallics class. Is that true or not? I just think that, I'm happy to. I'm happy to do it, and I really have spent a lot of time doing it. I still have to finish, which I haven't done. You can hear me?
Yeah, real quick. Sorry, not to interrupt. interrupt you here. Jedi Jared asked about when they should share their resub. We kind of covered this in the last show, real quick.
Uh-huh.
Holy crap, that thing is amazing.
Uh,
Um, but
thanks.
anyway, no, I think Jedi, if you want to, it's really based on when you want to get the most out of it. So if you do it during one of Anne's shows, it goes towards a Q&A. I don't know what Proctor's special thing will be, but it will be something during his Tuesday show. So
Ah.
right now, if you share your resub, it doesn't really go towards anything. Um,
What do you want it to
eh,
be?
your special thing? That's a good question. I
Well,
mean,
I need to finish talking to Ron because there is something that I wanted to include, but until everything is opened up, it'd be a special mini. Um, Getting it produced enough and having it sent out right
yeah,
now. You
just
guys are just doing gift cards, right?
for the
Gift
most part. I
certificates.
mean,
Yeah.
we did some specialty paint for Sadie's stuff on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But like, whatever it is you guys decide, just keep me in the loop if you can.
Okay. Yeah. I got to figure that out. But I have my idea. It's just I don't know whether it's approved or not. I was kind of getting the in between answer. I got sometimes you got to pin them down.
Those are the best, aren't they?
Right? Right about the D&D and everything. Um, hey.
To bring this back around though, because I know you
Yeah.
were showing off that golem. I want to see more of that golem actually. I,
Do
I
you?
know it's done. I do. I just want to see
It's
more
not
of it.
done, and I could spend a couple of episodes still working on him, and there would be your shade of metallics.
Crap, man, that thing is insane. That's non-metallic metal, right?
No, this is
Oh no, it is.
this is
It
shade of
is shaded.
metallics.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
you
It
can.
just looks insane.
Thanks. I used him in my class, and I've been working on him since. And I need to finish him up. He's for the Bones 5 Kickstarter.
Thanks for the
Um,
bits, John.
Thanks for the. Oh, you said bits. I thought I heard you say something different.
Yeah, no, it's bits.
Okay.
So bits are like they represent pennies essentially.
Thanks for the pennies. That is
So
amazing.
earlier, I think he cheered 200 bits, which is $2. So he literally threw $2 at you, Proctor, kind of like you're a stripper.
I tucked it in my G string right then and there. Um,
G-string. Do people still say that?
I don't know. I haven't been to anywhere like that since I was in college and at a bachelor party.
Oh, sure, sure. Hmm.
No, seriously. I would get killed if I did that. Um, anyways, Reaper John.
Anyways, yes.
Who's bless you?
Oh, hey, Proctor said bless you. That was my fiance. She's sitting next to me.
You guys are married, right? You have a kid on the way?
We do not have a kid on the way, and we are not married yet.
Oh, okay. But I thought you did have a kid on the way. That was the talk there for a while, right?
No, that's the thing around Reaper. We do not have a child on the way. We have children in the form of fur babies.
Yes. What kind of fur babies do you have? Because I need to catch up on that kind of information.
We have a kind of an off-brand. I call her an off-brand corgi because that's what she looks like. She looks like a German Shepherd mixed with a corgi. Seriously, if you took a German Shepherd and just gave it stubby legs, that's what she looks like.
Yeah.
And then we have a Chihuahua that sleeps basically 95% of the time.
Uh huh.
And then we have a Siamese cat that breaks everything.
Yeah. Wow. We
It's an
are.
eclectic. It is.
That is super eclectic. We are trying to finish the kitchen remodel thing. This is where there's a debate whether it's week 8 or week 9 right now. I'm just saying it's week 8 because we have at least 2 weeks left. So I'm ready for it to be over with. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm looking forward to seeing the final pictures
oh
of it.
my
Do you
god,
guys have animals? And if so, are they taking to this remodel very well?
we don't. Right now, we don't. We had 2 golden retrievers and a little Cairn Terrier, and Zoe passed away about 6 years ago. She's my first golden retriever, and there's 2 dark sword miniatures of her. There's just her laying down as a real dog that Jason Weeby sculpted, and then she has an anthropomorphic. I'm gonna grab her miniature.
Twisted. Actually, she doesn't really talk very much. She actually is not very vocal as far as Siamese cats go. She pretty much just meows when she wants food in the morning, but beyond that, no. She prefers to let breaking stuff do her talking, and she opens doors with her paw underneath them. So
So this is Zoe the Golden Ranger, and this is what I. This is the. This is a dark sword miniature, obviously, but it's I did this diorama a few years ago and put at ReaperCon, and that's her protecting the little animals of the forest. And all the little bits, all the little creatures. There's a rabbit. There's a raccoon. There's a ferret, a squirrel, and up in the tree there's a little owl. Um, that was uh, this was Zoe the Golden Ranger, and so Kaya passed away a little over 2 years ago, and she just got her figure out last year. So I'm working. I'm gonna do a little quick diorama with both of them together.
That
She,
base though, like you
yeah,
made that yourself, right?
I did. It's just a bunch of little tiny pieces of bark and a lot of milliput, and then
That definitely
flocking
sets
and
the
everything.
bar incredibly high.
So yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces of, and especially mainly just because it was Zoe in it. But yeah, yeah. So I'll show off stuff like that. We think about if that's not too lame. Um, oh, uh, who sculpted it? Rainbow Sculptor asked Dave Summers sculpted that. He sculpts most of the well. Jason does too. Jason sculpts some of the anthropomorphics, but Dave Summers sculpted the Zoe and the Kaya and a lot of the other ones. But yeah, Jason probably contributes a lot. I know Gene has done a couple, Gene Van Horn, but really it's mostly Dave Summers. And then Kaya's got another miniature of her. Where is it? It's not painted. Well, it's just got crap paint on it. So you'll notice, and this is kind of tipping the hand too. I will have a million ideas going on at one time. And I will start something, put some colors on it, and maybe not feel it. So I will come back to it later on. But this is Kaya. She's got her other hand is where she's holding a bow and she's tracking. So I'm gonna have a scene where Zoe's more standing up and she'll be behind her, and Kaya's tracking. Zoe always tended to be the more regal of the two golden retrievers, and Kaya was the one that did all the work and sniffed everything out and chased everything, and Zoe kind of pranced around. So that's kind of how we're going to set the scene for them. So that's
She
going to
was the
be.
reporter, and the other one was the.
Yeah, Zoe was 3 years older, and she was the boss, and Kaya was younger, and she just followed Zoe's lead. And so when we lost Zoe, it was kind of like getting to know Kaya again. But Kaya just passed away a couple years ago, and then we had Oliver, our little Cairn Terrier, and he passed away last year. He was Michelle's mom's dog, and when her mom passed away, we adopted him, and he was a great little dog. Him and Kaya hung out for 3 or 4 years together. They had together, and so they had a blast. And so we decided we wanted to grieve for a little while after Oliver died, and it's been a year this last January. But then we decided we're going to do this kitchen remodel, so we were like, that's going to be stressful enough. Let's get through this kitchen remodel, and then we're going to bring another fur baby into the family. So probably another golden retriever is my hope. I love
That
them.
was going to be my next question. Then,
Yeah,
do you not like? I mean, obviously you had the terrier, but do you not like smaller dogs necessarily?
I like big dogs.
You
I
do.
like
Okay.
I like big dogs that I can grab and hug and wrestle around with. Yeah, totally.
Well,
I
that makes
mean,
sense. Get you a husky.
uh, I like big mellow dogs, and I know just the mannerisms of a golden retriever to me are just the best. They just, they look at you like you're the greatest thing ever, and they have energy, but they don't have way too much energy, so you have to take them out running around everywhere. But yeah, so come watch a painting show with me, and let's talk about golden retrievers for a
Yeah,
while. Yeah,
let's do it.
yeah.
You'd love Stella then. She is nothing but play. She loves to fetch, and she also hoovers up anything on the ground. She'll eat ice cubes. She thinks they're treats.
Oh,
She is literally a garbage disposal.
well, when
So
this all calms down, you're gonna have to bring Stella up to the shop next time I'm there.
yeah, she's incredibly sweet. She's very timid sometimes, although she's getting a lot better because we adopted her. I think it was two years ago,
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, and she no 2 years ago because she's only about 4 right now. She's not very old. Um, but when we adopted her, the she'll be 5 in July apparently. When we adopted her, she was at the SPCA and she didn't have. I think the owner had surrendered her because they couldn't take care of her. They didn't have the time,
Mm-hmm.
and she was very, 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 very timid. Like we had to sit there with her for 30 minutes, offering her treats before she even got close.
Well, sure, her little
Um,
heart was broken that she got kicked to the curb, and
yeah,
that she
that's
didn't felt like anybody loved her again. So she had to figure out, let who was let somebody in again and trust them again.
correct. And
It's
it's I
good.
think it's taken years now. I can take her out and into the public, and she actually goes up to people.
Oh,
She didn't
good.
used to at all. So
Yeah. Oh, good. That's awesome. I like
she
it.
actually peed in Paul's lap one time.
Well, Paul probably deserved that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let him know
I
that too.
mean, well, yeah, he doesn't watch, does he?
I don't think so. It's 5:30. I don't know if he's already off, but I don't
Okay.
think he's watching. No,
Okay. Wow, we've been on almost an hour. It's gone by pretty fast.
we have. It's been 57 minutes exactly.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So is today's show better than Tuesday's show? I guess.
You
Um,
know what? Let me create a poll.
all right. So that silence is golden. I'm assuming. But anyways, as Justin's creating the poll, um, let's go back and you could see a little bit more of the weathering as I'm freaking in the camera now. Um, I kind of that's kind of where it's going, and you can see where the ridges of the cloak are popping the highlights a little bit more. And so what I'll do is you'll see there's all different kinds of browns on the palette, and this is where I'll take in a little bit of the ruddy leather, which I think is a great color.
There we
Um,
go. There's the poll. It's in chat, guys. I
okay,
think you'll like the options you have to choose.
what are the options?
You can go ahead and vote if you want. I think it's in your chat there.
Oh, vote. Absolutely, three things are perfect. Absolutely, 300% better. Things are perfect. I love all of the options. I mean, there's not a
Yeah,
bad
don't you like that
option
we
there.
we don't
Yeah,
we
I'm
don't
going.
get to say no?
Yeah, yeah, cool. All right, I voted as well. It's been a lot more fun. The thing is that it was difficult, especially for the first one. Is just feeling. I don't know. It's teaching and streaming and is just so different, and I'm trying to teach while I'm streaming, and I just there's the feedback um, loop isn't there like it normally is when you're doing a live class. I've noticed that with the late night shows, the Stephen Colbert's, the Jimmy Fallon's, Jimmy Kimmel ones, they really struggled at first to adapt to this not having an audience in front of them. So you'll notice on the cloak, I took ruddy leather and I took a little bit of the Pathfinder Cavalier Orange and mixed that together and created a little bit of can you see that? A little bit of a glaze. I'll put it on my card too. You can see how kind of thin it is. It's not too much, and it's the trick, especially with glazes, it's going to knock back your highlights a little bit, but it's also going to blend in some of the transitions. And when I'm doing the texture stuff, it's this is where I didn't feel comfortable doing the transition stuff until I had really figured out a good way that I like doing my glazes because I think it's super important to kind of be able to smear and blend those in and make those hide a little bit more. You're going to lose some of your overall highlights and detail, but then you can always come back. And again, less is more of picking out the tiny little spots and popping them just a little bit more. And so there's a little bit. And then with anything, I've seen a few people say this on the streaming and stuff. I'll always go back and afterwards and tweak and mess with this and go back and forth multiple times. But at some point, it does just get like, okay, I'm done. This is the most I can do it. And that is, for as much as I like doing this process, I do think that it's something that you can go down a rabbit hole and just continually work on it. And with spending additional time and hours or whatever and having little results, or the results much smaller. So you got to find a place where you can stop and you feel comfortable with it, but know that this is adding a little more interest than just hopefully just a cloak that's just blended. To me, this is more interesting than just this smooth blended cloak. And you are doing in a way a certain level of freehand and super level, a certain way of, like I like to say, and I've stole this from Sergio, creating the information on the piece that make it just a little bit more interesting than it normally would be. So this show is a lot better. I never lost sound and stuff was in focus. I thank you, Twisted Doma. What were the results of the vote?
Yeah, it looks like unanimously there was zero complaints about the show. Yeah, look at that.
Awesome. Hey, that's awesome. Zero complaints and all super positive comments. I like it. But Bug Lips was still nice. I'm not sure why he's being nice to me, but he said yes, but Tuesdays was still pretty great. That's nice, Bug Lips. Um, let's see. Anything else that I'm missing?
Nope.
Yeah.
It has been an hour though, so I didn't
Okay.
know how long you wanted to go.
Yeah, it's probably good to wrap up now. I gotta go check on what the kitchen thing is doing and how all that's rolling. But thanks
Right.
for everybody for tuning in. 111 people. That's a lot of fun, especially for a show that wasn't even supposed to be on. So we'll be back on Tuesdays. Um, Now, I did see a lot of comments on when Ed was going to come back. But since everything is where it is, my show's going to be where it is for now. And if he needs to boot me to do his show, we'll figure out something else, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We
Yeah.
will not be an issue.
Okay, cool.
I don't see Ed's show coming back at least until all of this thaws out and we can get back into the studio because his show is definitely one of those things that really lends itself to having a studio setting.
Right, right.
I don't think he's too busy to set up everything at home, kind of like you've done now, and
Hmm.
for me to work with him. So I just don't see that realistically happening anytime soon. So
So on Tuesday, hopefully, hopefully the May miniature will come in the mail by then. I'll have it primed up and hopefully I'll have some paint on it and we'll show it off at least a little bit. Maybe I'll work on a couple of bits. I'm not sure. I got to look at what it is and then we'll do that. And if that's not the case, I'll be really sad because then Ron won't have his painted miniature for May. But then we'll figure out something else. We'll work on something else. And
right.
then, yeah, you think that our special guest option might work out for Tuesday also?
Yeah. Do you want to keep it a secret from week to week, or do you want to announce to people?
I don't know. We're going to keep it secret for now. And
Okay.
it'll
And I'm gonna have to
be,
work with you too on how I want it to be displayed on the screen because I think that that will help with people understanding who is guest talking.
so it'll be, well, are we going to see the person?
No, you're gonna see a picture and it's gonna have like a it says guest starring something like that, and it's gonna have their name,
Oh,
so
you,
that at least people when they hear voices, they're gonna go, oh, I know it's this person or this person, right?
you know which photo to use.
Oh, oh yes,
It's the one Ron
the
likes
one
to
that
use.
Gene had.
Yeah, the one like Ron likes to use.
Okay,
When
perfect.
when he's calling that person out. If
He
that's not a
will love that.
if that's not enough, if that's not enough tips, there's got to be somebody that gets it from that. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, hey, you guys, thanks again for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Again, the whole coronavirus crap thing is going on. Just don't touch your face. Don't touch strange people. Wash your hands but relax and hopefully have a good time and paint and check out my Facebook page and I have or my Instagram. Just look for Clever Crow Studio and it'll be out there.
Did
Um,
you just say wash your hands in your butt?
I did not say butt. You should wash your butt. It's not for corona related stuff, but just so you don't stink. Um,
Yeah.
that
So,
was,
all right.
that was the advice I gave you a while back. But
Right. So
you,
this next Tuesday show all about washing your butt, guys.
no, it's not. But okay.
100% won't deviate. We'll even bring in a guest expert on the topic.
Yes. Oh, yeah. If that person's definitely an expert on the subject. So, all
All
right,
right.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Proctor, why don't you
Cheers.
go ahead and roll us into the stream ending, please, sir? Thank you,
One, two,
guys. We'll set up a
three.
raid for
Later,
you.
later.
with an ending screen.
Oh, hey, who stayed on? How many people are still here?
Yeah, let's see who stayed after the credits.
A lot of people stayed after the credits. Oh, all right. I don't have anything special or anything, but later. Thanks again. Thanks for hanging around. And are we ready to raid yet?
Yeah, we're gonna be rating Jacob Jansen since it's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Jacob. And yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna go to stream ending. Later, guys. Have a great weekend.